About 3 weeks ago, by the time I edit this and upload it, spent a lot of time writing this, lost some power in between. Nonetheless, the Horror Game Awards hosted their summer showcase with 2.5 hours of nothing but non-stop horror game trailers. Some new trailers for new games and trailers for games that are already out. Some trailers I've already seen, but I'm ashamed to say I'm seeing many of these for the first time. In fact, this is the first time I've ever heard of the Horror Game Awards, and I'm sorry to say that. But now that I know about them, I will definitely be checking them out more often, watching their showcases, and checking out, of course, the Horror Game Awards. What's going on, everyone? My name is Chuckin' Games, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I play a variety of different games, but I absolutely love horror games. Everything from survival to psychological and everything in between. And I play a lot of them over on my Twitch channel and then eventually upload them here in an edited format. But in this video, I'm going to be going over a long list of games that caught my eye from the showcase. Can't say I'll play all of these games, but I felt many were worth mentioning and talking about, at least maybe get a couple more eyes on it, one or two. This may end up being a long video, so let's not waste any more time and get to it. Also, unless stated, these games are all on PC or coming out for PC. Also, there are demos for a lot of these games. In fact, I'm pretty sure a majority have demos out. So if you see a game you like, and you have a PC, head over to Steam, wishlist it, see if there's a demo, and play the demo. Do you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain? Wait a second. That's the wrong script. Hold on. Here we go. Do you like or love older classical survival horror games like Resident Evil 1 with locked camera angles, tank controls, and lots of puzzles? Well, then I have a long list of games just for you. Over a handful of games I saw scream Resident Evil. One of them almost quite literally. From character designs, inventory screens, environments, and so much more. Some of these games look like they got the source codes from Capcom and pulled a copy my homework, just change the name. To save myself some time and from sounding repetitive, a lot of these games feature the aforementioned lock camera angles, tank controls, puzzles, and inventory management. Not all, but a lot. First up is Rogue Mansion by Almanara Games and Top Hat Studios Inc. This game, while it may look like Resident Evil, has a roguelike twist to it, meaning that you'll likely never get the same room, same weapons, same enemies unless you play it a lot. After a tragedy brings four strangers together, they must work together to survive the mansion. This game is currently to be announced. The next game is Lumina Vale by Hamster Cafe, and it looks more like a Resident Evil 2 or 3 remake or possibly the Silent Hill 2 remake with the over-the-shoulder third-person perspective. In this game, you will take over the role of a popular streamer. Yes! Finally! As you start a brand new game. The more you play, the more you realize that the fantasy world and reality are starting to blur. This game is also to be announced. Next up is Iris Dissolution by Mechanicoi. I apologize if I pronounce any of these names wrong, by the way. This is a return to classic survival horror with heavy Resident Evil 1 vibes. Lost in a dark place, Iris is searching for her brother. Led to a strange place, Iris is quick to find this place isn't normal. So also kind of a Silent Hill vibe. This game is coming soon. Carnival Massacre by Norbert Perani and Bedtime Stories. Out of the mansions and into the carnival. As you venture through this cursed theme park, you will explore the land, manage inventory, solve puzzles, and fight off everything that tries to stop you. This game is set to release in Q3 2025, which is like July to September, so soon. Next up, we have Soul Tracer by Silent Archangel Studios. This is a third-person shooter survival horror game where you and your friends stumble into a portal to a different reality, a reality filled with nightmares. Fight your way through and save your friends. Only you can do it, Soul Tracer. There is no release date for this just yet. Now we have Scarlet Lake by Nocturnal Interactive. This brings the classic survival horror feel. You play as Ben Murphy, a detective sent to investigate some shady things in a small town, surrounded by monsters and caught in this nightmare. What will Ben uncover in Scarlet Lake? Also kind of sounds like Silent Hill. So maybe I said that these were like Resident Evil inspired things, but maybe they're also inspired by Silent Hill. Definitely, they're inspired by the original classic survival horror games. There is no release date for this game just yet. Now we have Liminal Point by Hideworks. This is a modern survival and psychological horror game. Lyra, a character that almost looks like Claire Redfield, gets a cryptic voicemail and goes back to where her band last met. A tragic end, that is. Shrouded in fog, as you explore the town, fight the creatures, solve the puzzles, you will reveal the truth behind what happened that fateful night. Also kind of sounds like Silent Hill 2, or Silent Hill. This game will be out sometime in 2026. Flesh Made Fear by Tainted Pact and Assemble Entertainment. This game glorifies itself on having tank controls, fixed camera angles, and pure terror. Returning to that classical survival horror, but pushes the genre to terrifying new depths. No release date just yet. Biogenesis by Magna Labs. After a girl named Madeline goes missing, Detective Jody looks to find answers in the Ravenwood Hotel. Filled with secrets, puzzles, and monsters, it won't be an easy task. Madeline had an incurable disease, and the case of her disappearance has been cold for 4 years, but Detective Jody gets a clue that leads them to the hotel where something or someone is waiting for them. This game is listed as coming soon. The next game almost quite literally screams Resident Evil, even down to the way the game is set in the trailer.
Phase Zero.
Made by Spina Studio, I hope I'm saying that right, and Super Hot Presents. Taking place in a small town in 1994, a mysterious illness begins to spread across Flint Peak, just as a snowstorm begins to hit. Two unknowingly survivors must fight to make it through, reporter Mary and engineer Guy. From classic survival horror-inspired games to first-person shooter action horror-inspired games that if you like the OG Doom or Duke Nukem and Wolfenstein, then you'll most likely like these. Quartermain and the Cult of Cthulhu by Prince of Mars and Dossman Games. Move over, Indiana Jones. Here comes Aloysius Quartermain. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I definitely know it's Quartermain. After a colleague comes into possession of an ancient artifact capable of moving armies in an instant to anywhere, Quartermain must find and help her get the artifact out of Germany and away from those who would use it for evil. With the Nazis, robots, and Lovecraftian monsters, you'll shoot your way through level after level of Cthulhu minions. This game is out now. Next up is Painted in Blood by Madcraft and Perp Games, a love letter to FPS games. In Painted by Blood, you are trapped in the warped nightmare of an artist, and you must fight your way through grotesque enemies and monsters. But to what means? There wasn't really a lot to go on for this one, but it is set to release later this year. Next up is Descendant by Project Gaiden. There is not much known about this game. I looked all over trying to find anything on it. Even Project Gaiden's Twitter page, there's like no synopsis or plot or any story details anywhere. Right now, it's just a tease trailer with narration and some action shots, but this game is still in development. Next up is Spirit Walker by Rexado Games, a FPS with a Western twist. Who can you trust? Who can you shoot? This open world game lets you explore evil in many areas, whether co-op or single player. This game is coming soon. Sacrificio. I had no idea what this game was called. In the trailer, they never dropped the name of the game. I just knew the developer, Pulp Games. It ended up on their Twitter, and even then, no mention. I had to click on a Steam link to get it. And to be honest with you, I spent too much time on the last one and this one trying to figure stuff out. So I'm just going to tell you what it says on Steam instead of paraphrasing and making my own for the rest of this video. Hired to save a priest from a ruthless and sadistic vampire, a lone bounty hunter sets out on a journey to a cursed land haunted by terrible creatures of the night. The lone gunslinger quickly discovers the horrible truth that people there are treated as livestock preyed upon by supernatural evil. The worst among these monsters is an imprisoned vampire who commands his vermin to hunt down unsuspecting villagers so that he may feast upon their blood. This arduous task will send the young gunslinger into an unforgiving fight for survival, making him question if hope can be found in such a place and if his strict morality can survive in such desperate times. This game sounds interesting and fun, just maybe needs better marketing. It is to be announced. Biomeat Husk World by Rafael Guidice? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And Dossman Games. Is an interesting looking game to say the least, with surreal yet incredibly realistic future predictions. Don't know what that means, but you play as Creature who has lost everything. You must be one with what you've become. Each enemy has a reason for wanting to kill you. Meet disgusting creatures and befriend them, and they will accompany you on your journey. Multiple worlds to explore. This game is to be announced. There are a couple new survival horror games of a different kind coming out in the lines of Sons of the Forest, and/or 7 Days to Die, and many more. Hauntsville looks like the undead nightmare we wish we got. Made by Michael Janisch, a zombie demon survival game with a Western twist. Build your home, work the land, survive the monsters. This game is out and available now. Then we have Project Z Beyond Order, which is a World War II co-op survival horror game coming out for PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles. Made by 314 Arts and Maximum Entertainment, you will play as one of the 4 characters, each having their own particular set of skills, and upgrade said skills through a skill tree. You will also upgrade weapons, both guns and melee. It kind of sounds like Dead Island 2. Explore the open world for supplies, weapons, and loot, but beware of the zombies. If you die, you lose your loot. This is set to drop Q2 2025, which is basically now, so it could drop any day. The next game I actually looked up the wrong game for because all I had to go on was the word parasomnia at the end, so I actually ended up looking at the wrong game because I couldn't find anything for some reason on Steam under the game developers. But this is Yam Parasomnia from Cerebral Games and Nimbus Games. It is a atmospheric, supernatural survival horror game. What begins as a simple funeral wake spirals into something far more sinister as the Wan siblings explore their childhood home and uncover a dark plot, all the while surviving the malice of the tragic denizens trapped therein. This game is still set to be announced. Next up is Sphenoid by Kaleka Games. Sphenoid is a first-person psychological horror where you are trapped in a prison. You need to solve puzzles and find clues in order to escape. It says this will be out Q3 of 2025, which again is anywhere from July to September. Backroom Level X, which is out for PC and PS5. Not sure if it's out on anything else. I just saw Steam and PS5. I haven't ever played any of the Backroom games, but I know they are super popular. In Level X, you will need to survive 13 levels of horror. Giant enemies lurk in this labyrinth of endless hallways and rooms, taking place in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1986. Try not to take any wrong turns. It was released back on May 29th and again is out now. Next up, we have Helldive by Teacup Games. In this first-person horror game, you are a marine time operative aboard an abandoned submarine. The description of the game makes it sound like a potentially scarier Soma. Navigating 7 interconnected facilities scattered across the ocean floor. While it is abandoned, you are not alone. Something eerie lurks in the shadows, watching, waiting. This game released earlier this year and is available now on PC. Staying in the ocean, we have Dark Mass by Path Games coming out for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series consoles. Described as Resident Evil Under the Ocean, Dark Mass brings that first-person psychological horror that I personally love. So if this is Resident Evil Under the Ocean, it would be like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. You're playing as Alice, also a Resident Evil reference. You are exploring a shipwreck unearthed by an earthquake. But under the shipwreck, under the water, lies something else. A lab! No, just kidding. A manor in pristine condition despite being underwater. But the manor is not uninhabited. Uncover the tragic past, solve puzzles, and make the right decisions, and you will survive. This game is listed as coming soon. By Sweet Carol. This is literally coming out for damn near everything. Made by Little Sewing Machine and Mean Grip, this is what it would look like if Disney in the late 80s, early 90s did a horror platform game. Set in the early 1900s, this is a narrative horror game where Lana Benton is following the trail of Carol Simmons to find her best friend and uncover the mysteries of the Bunny Hall Orphanage. Blending fiction and reality, you must navigate the two worlds to find a way out. It is planned to be released this year. Then we have SCP Fragments Minds. Chapter 1 is out on PC by HST Studios and Indie.io. On Mars, Site-113 is a worn-down, forgotten SCP Foundation project. Once the most secure facility is now a house of horrors. Uncover the truth, fight the anomalies, and most importantly, survive. You are humanity's last hope. This kind of has a Dead Space vibe to it, also like Ghost of Mars maybe, I don't really know. But it was released earlier this year. Again, Chapter 1 available on PC. Switching gears, kind of, we have Quite a Ride by Goodwin Games. This psychological horror offers a terrifying ride through the countryside. Throw in the need to use your phone sparingly or it will die, solve encrypting messages to help you escape. This game seems more linear than open world, but it does say to explore, so I'm not sure. There's not much to go off of on the trailer. It's hard to tell if you actually control the character on the bike or if you're just pressing a button to pedal and it steers itself. I don't really know. It does say not to look back, so you know I will have to try. Something is chasing you, but I wonder if looking back will actually do anything. The Steam page also mentions that the player's collective global efforts can change the environment, unlock new locations, hidden characters, and secret quests over time, so it seems like there may be different alternative endings to the game. Release date is yet to be announced. Next up, we have Contaminant. This is a third-person, story-driven action survival horror game set in an alternate post-Soviet reality, where you play as Maria, the granddaughter of a factory owner who is looking to uncover the truth about her grandfather's fate at said factory. Puzzles, hauntingly surrealistic atmospheres, and complex abominations await. This game is set to release this year. Ever wanted to play soccer with a human head? Well, FIFA 98 is the game for you. While I have no real intention of playing this game, I thought the name was very clever and the concept was pretty funny. Coming to PC by Celery Emblem and Jacob Jazz, you can play against your computer or play with a friend on local. It's FIFA 98 with a twist. A twist of an arm, a head, and probably some legs, where you can use knives and summon demons. There is a demo out, and it is said to be coming soon. Honestly, at this point, guys, we're only halfway through the list, and it's already getting long, and it is taking forever. So to speed up the process, I'm just going to read the Steam synopsis for the games and maybe give my 2 cents. Cults of Blood by Dusty Box. Cult of Blood is a survival horror adventure game that plunges players into a chilling, immersive experience set in a remote village deep within an ominous forest. The game draws inspiration from a true story, weaving a rich and terrifying narrative. With melee, dodging, and shooting, it seems the fighting will vary, and you'll probably have to be smart about using your ammo. This is said to be coming soon. Next up, we have The 18th Attic by Steel Creel Studios. The 18th Attic is a psychological horror game where you play as a man trapped in a loop, armed with an instant picture camera. Hunt down paranormal anomalies lurking around by taking their pictures and detecting their presence to unravel secrets of your past. Each photo unlocks a new memory. While I don't find the anomaly games to be scary, sometimes they can offer some pretty good moments. This is set to release Q3 2025. Now we have The Bornless by Cathedral Studios. This is an action horror FPS. Face off against other players, summon demons, build factions in a Lovecraftian world. Use black magic, acquire powerful weapons, upgrade your safe house, and strategize to survive. The trailer had me. This synopsis lost me at face off against other players. Sorry, I'm just not into PvP games anymore. There is an application though to join the playtesting for anyone interested, but this game is said to be coming soon. Next up, we have The Alien Cube, The Land of Pain, and Cosmic Fear. I have listed these 3 games together because they are made by the same person, Alessandro Guzzo, and all 3 trailers kind of feel the same. All show off the environment and have a cinematic look to them, but don't really show any gameplay or really tell you what the game is about, though the Land of Pain trailer did feel a little different. In The Alien Cube, worlds collide as your cursed inheritance throws you into the middle of a series of mysterious events, discovering terrifying secrets as you follow your uncle's disappearance and confront a terrible truth that will change your life forever in this cosmic horror first-person adventure. Speaking of cosmic and cosmic fear, since the dawn of mankind, mysterious phenomena beyond human comprehension have occurred. Your studies suggest that everything is part of one big picture. What lies hidden in the depths of the cosmos? Explore, solve puzzles, and survive in this disturbing Lovecraftian horror adventure. So I feel like these are 2 sides of the same coin, maybe. The Alien Cube is out now on Steam and can be played, while Cosmic Fear is set to release later this year for PC, and there is a demo out. Them being similar games isn't a bad thing. I'm not knocking it. I've played many games by the same developer that felt the same as another game they made. It happens. The Land of Pain is a Lovecraftian horror adventure. After something strange appears in the woods, you'll have to learn how to survive as you fend off a dark and disturbing evil. Flee from an unrelenting enemy, solve puzzles, and unravel the ancient mystery that's befallen this land. This game is available right now. Ever wanted to fight that leftover pizza from a drunk Saturday night, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style? Well, Leftovers KO is for you. Available on PC and Mac by Mountain Man Animation and Feardemic, Leftovers KO is a Punch-Out inspired, hand-drawn animated boxing game where you fight a bunch of leftovers. After a long day at work, you come home to find that your uneaten food has come to life and is here to beat you up with its hands. Defeat them all and uncover the truth. This game is available right now. Next up is Lock Your Door. My first initial reaction was that this is a Phasmophobia Ghost Hunter styled multiplayer, but it's not, kind of. Made by Mert Caglian, This is a challenging survival horror game for 1 to 4 players, so it is a multiplayer. Your aim is to survive while you search for your friend Darwin. Try your best to stay alive and confront your nightmares. Only the patient and clever will survive. This game is set to release on PC in Q3 2025. Next up, we have Haunted Bloodline by Horrified Triangles and Iffy Games. Haunted Bloodlines is a first-person survival psychological horror game. In the dark rooms of an expanding mansion, a terrifying story unfolds. As the mansion breathes, hidden secrets lay within its walls. Survival depends on your own sanity. Always remember, time can either be a friend or an enemy. Coming soon. Next up, we have Below Rusted Gods by From South Games. Below Rusted Gods is a narrative-driven psychological horror game where you are the lifeline supporting an expedition into the unknown. Keep both yourself and your squad alive by interpreting instrument readings. Explore the facilities and uncover something ancient and eager to be born. I just hope this isn't another Still Wakes the Deep where the trailer makes it look scary but the gameplay just isn't. The title is kind of a play on the words rusted gods, like the rusted steel of a building or rusted statues of gods or something, but the creatures we see seem like aliens, so I don't know. This is coming out in Q3 2025. Now we have Dead Format. Release date yet to be announced by Katana Levy and Oro Interactive. Dead Format is a survival horror game set in iconic film eras. It's 1990s Scotland, and your brother has gone missing after becoming obsessed with a mysterious new VHS format. Follow his trail through the tapes and uncover why the government wants to ban video gaslights. This also has a psychological horror tag to it, and there is just something about walking through dark areas with just a flashlight that makes me giddy on the inside as a horror fan. Silly Polly Beast by Angie and Top Hat Studios, Inc. This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. This is the story of a girl who, by the will of fate, faced the beast, and in order to become free, she was forced to study its nature. A story-driven shooter with aggressive gunfights and terrifying monsters awaits you. How far will you go in the fight of your freedom? While this doesn't look like the typical type of horror game I'd play, it looks fun. With different elements in it, like skateboarding and different art designs, it gives the game a different kind of vibrant feel to it. This will be coming out sometime in 2025. Now we have Oxide Room 208 coming to PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles, as well as PC by WorldSphere. 8 people trapped in an old laboratory will try to survive their last moments in this action-packed, terrifying body horror game. Oxide Room 208 challenges you to face your fears in a dark and twisted environment where the boundary between flesh and insanity blur. So, saw the game? I originally thought this was a multiplayer of some sort, but there is no tag for multiplayer. But there are tags for action roguelike and multiple endings. This is also apparently a follow-up to Oxide Room 104, which seems to have a similar synopsis. So maybe this is just with different characters in a different place. Next up, we have Nedra, which when I was writing this wasn't out yet, but it's taken me so long to edit this and finish it that it is out now. It came out on June 23rd by David Andrazian. I hope I'm saying that right, I'm probably not, and Indie.io. Nedra is a story-driven, atmospheric action-adventure blending survival horror with cosmic terror. Set in a Soviet-era Antarctic station, all the explorers have vanished without a trace, leaving you to uncover the chilling truth. According to David, as he narrates over the video, you will have to keep your body temperature low. Heating up too much will gain the attention of the monsters. Taking place in an abandoned Soviet station, frost walkers lurk around every corner. Heat is your best option in fighting back. The next game looks like it was made by the animators of The Simpsons in the early 90s. It's called You've Changed by Burkus. This game is like a scary Spot the Difference. Observe changes in the environment and catch enemies before they attack in this retro-inspired anomaly horror game. You've Changed features hand-animated rotoscoped enemy graphics and finely tuned gameplay balance. Tell me that doesn't look like the kitchen from The Simpsons. Anomaly games are all the rage these days amongst horror fans, and this one seems like it could be fun. This game's release is yet to be announced. Next up is Tormentor, release date also still to be announced for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles by Mad Mind Studio. The trailer for this game led me to believe it was something it apparently isn't. I thought it was a third-person stealth action survival horror game, but apparently you take on the role of a merciless torturer. Earn money from video transmissions of your torments, and then buy new victims and torture tools to expand your prison. So it's like an extreme BDSM simulator. What's the safe word? What's the safe word? On to the next game. It Takes Two horror game? Find or Be Found. Out now as it was released on June 24th by Studio Downstairs. In this asymmetrical co-op horror game, one hacker and one robber must collaborate and communicate to locate cursed items. Search and survive to earn money and progress. But beware, because you're not alone. This game is online co-op. Now we have Dark Lessons coming to PC in 2026 by Tall Tide Games. Can you survive your teacher in this psychological horror game? With only candles for light and trapped in her room, you have to uncover her family's dark secrets, solve puzzles, connect the dots, and escape. But beware, there is someone else playing games with you, and someone who needs your help. This seems like a pretty linear, straightforward, no fighting back, puzzle-heavy horror game, which I'm totally fine with. Then we have Last Chance Market, coming soon to PC by Dark Premonition Games. When a grocery list becomes a struggle to survive against cosmic horrors, will you make it through the door? Stay alive, solve the mystery, and make your offerings, or end up on the missing person poster in this first-person non-linear nightmare. But you better hurry, the store's closing soon. This game has a very creepy vibe to it. I mean, cannibalism is creepy as hell. This doesn't seem like that long of a game, and it kind of reminds me of like a Just Tom Cook game. Like, not that that's a bad thing or anything like that. I play lots of Just Tom Cook games. But this is coming soon to PC. Baptiste, coming soon to PC and PlayStation by Digital Dreams and Fire Nut Games. Devastated by a family tragedy, Sarah and her son, Tom, seek a new start at Jagged Shore Cliff. However, their worst fear is waiting for them there. In their new and mysterious home, a dusty cabinet holds Baptiste, an unsettling doll accompanied by an ominous warning. So it's like Abigail. It says, never release this from its glass prison. What ought to have been a shelter becomes the scene of a nightmare that defies all logic, putting their sanity and desire to survive to the test. This game has a strong psychological horror vibe with a dark story. Seems like an Amiga game style game. Next up, we have One Way Home, coming soon to PC by Cyberhead. Take on the role of a 12-year-old boy in this puzzle platformer about the journey home through the most terrifying of nightmares. Each playthrough is unique. The choices you make affect the type of skills and locations, the story's progression, and its ending. This game gives off that Little Nightmares vibe, looks fun while featuring a potentially sad but scary story. Now we have Who Are You? Coming soon to PC by Haunting Human Studio. Get immersed into a deep sci-fi psychological horror experience, where you'll have to fight through your enemies and emotions while reality blurs when you try to understand the disappearance of your wife 20 years ago and the current whereabouts of your daughter. This game claims it's based on real UFO research, so I wonder how many people they interviewed or whatever that claim to be abducted.
Amanda! Amanda! Amanda!
I feel like they use the same audio clip every time the guy says, Amanda! A lot of these horror games bring in domestic violence and stories of torn apart families, which can add a bit of emotion to the game, but the acting is a little rough in this game, which it's an indie game, so it's not like they're getting Robert Downey Jr. Next up, we have True Nightmare Roadside Cafe, coming July 1st, 2025 by Frost Fox Studios. Immerse yourself in an atmospheric psychological horror with a haunting VHS aesthetic. As a night shift waitress at a secluded roadside cafe, serve strange patrons and feel mounting dread. Each night, the nightmares become more real, and someone is watching from the darkness. Can you survive? Wait, was that Michael Myers? I've seen games like this in the past, but never really played them. This may be the first. As with Ignited Entry, I have broadened my horizon of horror games. I feel like some of these games that aren't graphically designed don't feel as scary, but sometimes they are actually pretty good. As I recently got jump scared by the Boba Tea Shop demo. Are you sad that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th games are no longer? Well, then there's a new multiplayer horror game coming out called Damned 2. Coming soon to PC by Nineheads Game Studios and Nuntius Games. Damned 2 is an asymmetrical multiplayer 4v1 horror game where a group of survivors must come together to solve puzzles and escape an immersive environment while another player takes on the role of an unbeatable monster ready to slay all trespassers. So, Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Evil Dead, etc., etc. I don't really play these style of games, but you never know. I do have friends who occasionally like to play these type of games, and maybe I'll pop on one day. Games like Among Us and Repo catch fire and blow up, so this may too, you never know. You can join the Damn 2 playtest right now on Steam. Now we have Tic Tac 12 O'Clock coming 2025 by RMag and 2Cake Studio. Tic Tac 12 O'Clock is a survival horror game where you must stay alive for 5 nights in the abandoned Bluebird High School. Try to survive until dawn. Use security cameras to monitor corridors and rooms around you. Keep the lights on and the generator charged, and don't get caught. Kind of sounds like an Outlast style game, maybe with like some Five Nights at Freddy's or something in there. I don't really know. And I'm not too fond of either games, to be honest with you. I just hate having to hide and wait, and I've never really played any of the Five Nights at Freddy games, but maybe this won't be as run and hide as the Outlast games. Coming up next is The Occultist, coming in 2026 to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles by Delore and Dedalic Entertainment. The Occultist is a first-person narrative thriller. You play as Alan Rebels, a paranormal investigator who travels to an abandoned British island after his father's disappearance. Explore Godstone Island, face supernatural entities, and uncover long-buried occult rituals. I don't know if I've ever played a narrative thriller. Don't even know what that is, really, but I definitely want to play this game. It looks great, spooky, and looks like it's going to have an intriguing story. The music played during the trailer reminds me of the Yo-Ho, Thieves and Beggars, Never Shall We Die from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Now we have Psycho Dead, which is still to be announced, coming out on PC by Moon Catalyst Co., a third-person survival horror game. The story follows a girl with psychic powers who tries to escape a secret laboratory swarming with grotesque and monstrous creatures. Uncover the truth behind the incident and embark on a thrilling adventure that'll keep you on the edge. Explore a sci-fi setting filled with mystery and danger, where a terror is waiting to attack you. I didn't have this in the Resident Evil similar games, but I could have. Very Resident Evil Silent Hill-esque, with a bit more of a supernatural twist. Maybe this will be more interesting than the Shadows of Rose DLC. We got trailers for Broken Lore, Follow, and Unfollow by Serafini Productions. I've already played the demos for both of these games, and they need to come out already. I feel like they've been coming soon for forever. Unfollow is said to be coming out Q3 2025, while Follow is said to be coming out Q4 2025. These games look great and seem really scary, and I just want to play them already. Next up is Lurks Within the Walls, coming soon to PC by Here Be Monsters and Two Wedges. Lurks Within Walls is a tense survival horror game that combines modern dungeon crawling RPG with fast-paced turn-based combat. Explore cursed environments infested with creatures born from the haunted art of Trevor Henderson, a building under quarantine, residents isolated. Those who failed to isolate themselves now stagger through the corridors contaminated. But it's not just the infected residents. The darkness conceals other anomalies. It feels like the building itself is alive. Will you try to escape or search for those who were forgotten? I'm not really one for turn-based combat, but I do plan on playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 here soon, so maybe after that, maybe I'll be into it. I don't really know. We got a new trailer for Tenebrous Somnia, another game I've played the demo for and want to play the full game, still listed as coming soon. And the final trailer and game we're going to talk about in this video is After Lights Out, coming soon to PC by Poke Studio. After Lights Out is a first-person psychological horror game where light takes on an extraordinary significance. Players must overcome their inner fears and bravely step into the darkness while skillfully using lights to solve a series of intricate puzzles. As you investigate every horror and mystery that takes place in this house, you gradually uncover the rules and truth behind the story. This kind of gives me Madison Visage vibes, which I'm all for, except Visage was kind of unnecessarily hard in my opinion. But that is going to do it for this video. I feel like I've been here for forever. I feel like I've been talking forever. What did you think? Any games catch your attention? Let me know down in the comments. Of course, these are not all the games shown during the summer showcase. If you want to check it out for yourself and see some of the games I didn't mention, I will leave a link to the full video down in the description. Will I play all these games? Probably not. Not even taking price and expenses into account, this is a long list of games, and I've already got so many games to play before Resident Evil 9 and GTA 6 drop early next year. but I will definitely be playing some of these games for sure, and maybe add the others to the backlog when I need some horror games to play. They will all be streamed over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/chuck_in_games, and then eventually, maybe, be edited for YouTube. I've talked enough. If you're still here, you must like the video, so make sure to drop it a thumbs up. If you are new here, consider subscribing to catch more of my horror game vids and playthroughs, as well as other games. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.